Alright guys, HyDra here again today. I hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far. And what exactly has got into Shotzzy? An absolute tirade hitting the timeline last night as Shotzzy takes aim at basically every single pro player, it seems, in the entire Call of Duty League, especially the Los Angeles Thieves, after the scrim streaming drama over the last few days, exposing Sender, the coach of the Los Angeles Thieves, DMs to OpTic over this story, and realizing that it contradicts what Scrappy had to say in his chat. This seemed to annoy Shotzzy even more. The tirade continues. We have plenty to get into today. Very much into your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I greatly appreciate it. Before we get to Shotzzy, what he's been talking about, whether he's in the right or in the wrong, we've got to talk about Cloud9 versus the Vancouver Surge. An interesting series yesterday. Surge have been a team that when they were formed, again, it was like they're dropping Huke, they're getting rid of aBeZy, they're trying to pack a punch, but they're pack a punching with Hicksy and Nastie. Nastie, I think, is pretty good. Hicksy, I think, is okay as well, but it just didn't really strike me as like, wow, this team's going to be anything special. If they're going to be good, they're going to be good in Game 5. The other question, of course, on the Cloud9 side was Simp. He's been atrocious so far this season. It's not like he had a great series here, but I know that aBeZy said on the Dope Check show a couple of weeks ago now that Simp had discovered some sort of gameplay issue. I don't know whether it was in his settings or something like that, that Simp, I don't know, changed and realized, wow, that was causing me to be terrible for weeks. Now I'm back in business. Now, not like Simp had a monster series here, but he wasn't on a 0.7 and he went positive in a hard point. The main man, though, was Mack. Again, controversial decision when Cloud9 decided during the off-season to not move forward with Nero and get Mack instead. Makes sense given the history with Accuracy and Simp and those guys, but still, we know the Nero can have some serious upside. They must have been very confident in Mack to make this move, and that's exactly what they've done, and that's exactly how it seems. Mack's been very good so far. They won the Game 1. The Game 2, man, Surge should really not have lost this one. They had the bomb down in the round 11. It was a 5-5. It looked like it was going to be a difficult retake to pull off for the New York boys. I mean, look at the position they're in. They're siding out through mids. They have the perfect setup, really, here, Surge, to close out this round. Especially Hicksy in this position. He's got to get one there. Kremp gets the kill. 2 versus 2. And then somehow Cloud9 complete the retake. So at that point, I was like, okay, these cats are not going to win this series. And that's exactly what happened. They end up losing the control as well. I know there was a bit of drama with the replays and stuff in this, but in the end, it was GG. Cloud9 New York take the W and they advance through in the tournament. A Surge are the 4th team to get first round of the tournament. Nastie, 0-4, both in the 0.7s. Not a pretty series from that team at all. So they've got a lot to think about, but Cloud9 looking better. They will rematch against of course, the Carolina team that reverse swept them online in the tournament play just before Christmas. So we'll see if that's a different story this evening. I know that Kenny, of course, was also talking about the timings they were playing against the Saudi guys, and the Falcons, a team that they maybe don't scrim all that often, but as Luty says, that's what we call the Saudi style and the pace we're bringing to the table. Of course, Xnid was flying and he was frying. As Kenny says, the guys are shooters. That was a test of patience, he said, though, as well. But let's dive into what Shotzzy had to say. So after the series, I was like, all right, let me watch this interview to see what he has to talk about, because I knew that he was going to say something. And Shotzzy has decided to let his guard down. He's probably been holding his tongue for some time on many topics in competitive Call of Duty, and he's decided, you know what, he's just going to say it all out there. Things that, to be fair, we've known in COD for years. It's just very refreshing to have a pro player of Shotzzy's caliber with the success that he's had and the rings that he has to back up his talk as well, saying a lot of the things that, we've thought for years. So Shotzzy was calling out the pros big time here, saying that what he's been annoyed about is that the practice that he gets isn't even real. He's playing against teams that aren't even trying to win in the right way. And it feels like this is a tendency that's crept in over the last few years. Back in the day when pros, the salaries weren't what they are today, every team was trying to win harder because that's where you actually made your money. If you came top 8 at a tournament or top 12 or something, you were going home with no bread. Like, you needed to win. Whereas nowadays, a lot of the guys, it's definitely been a feeling for the last few years, are just playing to maintain their spot. If you're on a team that's top 6, top 8, do you really care about winning the events anymore? It feels like something's fallen off there, and that's not even just affecting their performance at the majors, but also affecting performance, Shotzzy believes, in even scrims as well. So he calls out the pros hard on this last night, and this was the only clip that I was planning to talk about today, but of course when I woke up this morning, plenty else had happened. So the flank then goes on. aBeZy, of course, gives his thoughts. They were talking about streaming scrims, among other things, and aBeZy was saying, look, you shouldn't necessarily have to do that as a pro player, and I don't necessarily disagree. Like, I don't think you should be forced exactly as a pro team to stream practice. I I just think it's a very good idea. And we'll discuss some of the drama with that in a second between OpTic and Thieves especially. But it was all kicking off because Aix was kind of calling out Shotzzy and saying that Shotzzy was stirring up drama and he was making things up, right, to, you know, gain some interest or some traction or whatever. And Shotzzy wasn't very happy about this assessment and says, you know, what do you mean I'm making stuff up? Everyone is terrible. What do you mean, including you? So, you know, Shotzzy has just absolutely no punches withheld at this point. And then he decided to, you know, take to the timeline with an absolute rant against the way that the pros play the game. Most teams study break-offs more than playing efficient. These guys are idiots. So, you know, I love the way that Shotzzy is just being so blunt. And, I mean, it's interesting because it's kind of like the heel turn, you know, from Shotzzy on some regards. I don't know exactly what's got into Shotzzy. I mean, I feel like if you've watched him for some time, these thoughts have always been under the surface, right? In his stream, he's always kind of given a little, you know, comment here, a little comment there about the way that people are playing the game. And now he's just, you know, let down the guardrails and it's all flying out. I don't know if Pred's had anything to do with this. It kind of feels on some level that Pred joined OpTic, unlocked Shotzzy, and now it's dipped. And, you know, here goes Shotzzy is off the leash type thing. But, you know, the funny thing is about this compared to, let's say, Scrappy. Scrappy will tweet stuff like this sometimes. Like, he will call out other pros and various things. He usually deletes them, right? Like, Scrappy doesn't stand on business, whereas Shotzzy is standing on business. And I absolutely love this development that we've got Shotzzy going hard. We've got, obviously, Scrappy and him getting into some beef as well. And Shotzzy basically beefing every pro team. And he's saying that these guys care about the break-offs. They don't care about playing efficient so much. And then Shotzzy says, oh no, we lost the break-off. Let's just play for kills. Dashy thought this is kind of funny. Even Marved, kind of Valorant pro that knows these guys quite well, was like, when did bro become a savage? Don't play with bro's bread. Dashy says, because obviously there's been talk about streaming scrims and the fact that, yeah, okay, Shotzzy was saying, look, it's not about the money, it's about helping the community, but also as Dashy was saying, look, if we stream practice, we make some more bread, it's good for the community, it's good for everyone. And then Shotzzy follows up with this, players getting pay cuts every year and wonder why. These guys are clowns, you don't do anything besides collect a check, and then with the double clown emoji, I thought this was brilliant. It's like, this is something that I would tweet out if I was a pro player, just, you know, to stir some drama. But, you know, Shotzzy's done it anyway. So I just thought this is a Hall of Famer tweet in my opinion. And he's absolutely on the money, right? We've talked about this for years. That loads of these guys, what are you doing? Are you playing 8s? Are you streaming scrims? Are you streaming 8s? Are you playing chals? Like, what are we doing? Are we actually going to play COD at all? Or are we just going to collect the paycheck every month that seems to go down and spend it all on DoorDash and not have any money left over to buy a house? That's the argument that Shotzzy was making a couple of days ago. And as Shotzzy then continues to say, 8s don't help, this and that. S&D 8s won me champs in every tournament I've ever won. So it's kind of, you know, the way that Shotzzy, clearly he was having a bit of a crash out here, right? So the punctuation might not be the best. The point is that what he's kind of quoting is other players saying, oh, 8s don't help, 8s are irrelevant, they, you know, they don't make you better, they make you worse or whatever. Shotzzy's like, that's cap. I got better playing Search and Destroy 8s. You guys aren't playing 8s because you're lazy. That's what he's saying. So, you know, I honestly love it, right? Because, to be fair, lots of the people saying this, as Shotzzy's kind of implying, they ain't won anything. They ain't won rings. They don't know what it takes to get to the top. Shotzzy does. So, he says, okay, I'm going to chill now. I'm going to calm it down. But yo, most CDL pros put the fries in the bag in a couple of years. Thank you very much. So, you know, hit just like years, you know, it could be weeks, could be months at this point until these guys are out of a job. So, you know, like, if I was a pro player and I was good enough to be a pro and I was in the league, to be fair, this wouldn't apply to me because I'd have actually made some content. But if I was in a position where what Shotzzy is saying is calling me out directly, I think it would inspire me to be like, okay, you know what? Shotzzy probably knows what he's talking about. I need to lock in. Will any pros actually do that? Will any of the pros see this crash out and say, you know what, Shotzzy has a point? Maybe a couple, but I'm not sure it's going to make that much difference. So then the drama continues. As I say, a lot to get through today because there was Los Angeles Thieves and the scrim drama, right? Because OpTic were planning to stream scrims, and then Thieves came at them last minute and said, yeah, we're not so keen on you doing that. Now, the interesting piece of the puzzle here is that last night, Scrappy was in Shotzzy's stream and says this, the reason I complain so much is because I want it to be better. All OpTic got to do is cover the minimap and we're keen. That's what we said, but it didn't happen, and that's all good. So Scrappy says that he was happy for them to stream the practice, just cover the minimap up, so you can't see where they are on the map. And it's like, you know, you can argue whether that's cheese or not, who really cares, it's a mini-map, but okay, fine, right? And I don't expect OpTic would have had a problem with that. Like, if Thieves said to them, hey, you know, just cover the mini-map and we're down to run it, like, you guys can stream practice, that's fine. I feel like OpTic would have been fine with that. Whereas Cinder seemingly said something different to Shotzzy and to JP and to the team, which is why Shotzzy then had a further crash out.
I feel like I personally have to because I'm literally not getting real practice. And what I mean by that is like people, they want to say they want to win and this and that, but like when I'm playing against them, I know for a fact they're kill whoring, they're not doing efficient stuff, and to me it's annoying because like as a competitor, you want to get better, and the way to get better is by playing against good people that actually know what they're doing. And obviously I'm being way more vocal now. I mean, I've thought this throughout my entire CDL, besides like obviously the top teams, but it's to a point where like people aren't even playing, and to me like I feel like you're just taking it for granted. No matter if you're the top or low team, like I feel like you're just taking this opportunity for granted, and I mean we're just gonna keep slamming everyone. So
100%.
Call them out.
I only tip the top teams. And I only tip the top teams. And
Only
obviously
tip the
we try to figure out.
Yeah.
We can figure out who that is. So yeah.
The second part of the question.
Ghosty.
Yo, it's good, man.
What the fuck? Dan is going for checkouts. Dan, you know what's actually fucking insane? You're actually a pussy, and your team's a fucking pussy too. You know why? Because you knew that we were streaming scrims, and you waited for us. Y'all waited for us to leave instead of telling us right there and then. That is insane. That is fucking insane, dude. Actual pussies, straight up. Like, what is Scrap saying? Now I'm on your fucking ass too, Scrap. Who said this? Okay, I don't know. Your fucking coach. And I don't give a fuck. I'm putting this guy on blast. I'm about to put the fucking DM in the chat. I'll read word for word, okay? This is what got sent to JP. Word for word. Fucking cringe ass fucking DM, dude. Troy. Yo, not trying to be streamed in our pack. So let me know what y'all trying to do. What? Not trying to be streamed in. Fuck you mean? Who the fuck are you? Like what? Bro, are y'all fucking fucking T1 in league? Do we have fucking 100,000? Like what? Like, am I tripping? Do we have to pay to scrim y'all? Who the fuck are you guys? Like, what? Actually insane, dude. My bad for, like, coming at you, but I'm actually genuinely tight because this shit truly means a lot to me. Deadass.
So some sensational clips there. Look, I don't think that OpTic should be, like, entitled to be able to stream the practice of every other team. I think, look, as much as I'd love all practice to be streamed, I don't necessarily think it should be mandated, and if I as a team don't want it for whatever reason, then I think I should be within my rights to say, hey, we'd prefer you not to do it. And, you know, so I guess to some degree, I feel like, you know, Shotzzy went a little bit too far, but also I do understand why he was so annoyed, because, like, if Scrappy's saying, oh no, we were fine with it, just cover the minimap, but yet Cinder was messaging them to say, hey, yeah, we're not really about that. So, you know, what's true, what's not true? You know, who's in communication with who? Was Scrappy saying this? Was Ghosty saying this? Obviously, as well, Shotzzy comes out to say that Ghosty and his boys are pussies, basically, for not standing on their opinion at the time and kind of letting things run away. So, you know, Shotzzy, it's honestly great to see what he's up to right now. And whether you think he's going to be in the right on every issue or not in the right on some issues or whatever you think, it's entertaining, right? Like this season on this type of evidence could be a bit of a banger with this new Shotzzy arc, because Scrappy and some of the drama with Thieves and the way that things have been happening there, the streaming practice stuff and OpTic wanting to do it and them not wanting to do it, and now this new controversy that's emerging as a result of it, that's created them into a bit of a villain, and Shotzzy seems to be picking fights with absolutely everyone. So whether Shotzzy wins or loses, it's gonna be entertaining to say the very least, especially when we get to LAN. So, you know, Shotzzy says, I wasn't even gonna stream tonight, but I'm literally addicted to winning. Let's get the stream on. And I think at the end of the stream, he played back their World Championship win, and apparently, I didn't see a clip of it yet, but apparently it brought a bit of a tear to his eye. So, you know, I think he misses probably Pred as part of the team, but also admits, look, yeah, it's about winning at the end of the day. I'm not going to take this for granted. Promise you that. So that's when Shotzzy closed out for the evening, and yeah, what an evening it was. This evening is also going to be pretty damn good. We have 4 CDL matches back underway. And these are some big ones, right? These are some big ones. I believe the first game of the day is Ultra versus Rocker. Then I think it goes OpTic Breach, then Cloud9 Ravens, and then I think it's the banger Thieves FaZe to close out the day. But yeah, so these teams, if you lose your top 8 in the tournament, that's pretty bad. And there are going to be some big names going home already. I will say, I don't think we're ever going to get a tournament ever again that's this beautifully color-coded. Blue, blue, green, green, red, red, purple, purple. Absolutely gorgeous. So, you know, it's treasure the moment, I guess. Ultra play Rocker. Toronto are going to be favourites there. As I said yesterday, Minnesota, they've got some grit, but I don't know if they're good enough. They are good enough, but I'd say that Ultra should be the favourite. Ravens Cloud9 is fascinating. I think it's probably going to be a Game 5 again. I'm going to lean the way of the Ravens, just because they did beat them and reverse sweep them before, and I feel like once they got their groove, they were the stronger team. I still have my a little bit concerns on Cloud9, so I think Cloud9 can easily win the series though, but I'm going to lean the Ravens' way pretty marginally. Boston OpTic is fascinating because they played online with Pred and Boston beat them, but is that going to continue? OpTic 3-0'd Falcons, but it was not exactly an especially comfortable 3-0, so I think this is going to go a little bit interesting, but I don't think Shotzzy is going to be able to say all the things that he said and not come out and win the series, and Dashy is arguably the best player in the game right now, so I think that OpTic will get the job done. I think it's going to be tight. I'm going to say 3-1, and then Thieves FaZe. Look, if anything happens like what happened before, Thieves won Game 5 online, FaZe brought it back, but to be fair, Game 1, Game 2, Thieves slammed them. So I do think Thieves are going to win this series. I think it's going to be close, but I'm going to say it's a 3-1 Thieves, and FaZe are out of the tournament in top 8, which is, yeah, that would be a moment, but regardless of what happens in a lot of these series, there are going to be some serious talking points going into the rest of the weekend. Very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care, and I'll see you next time.